Okay, we're having a conversation with D Revolution, the not only entrepreneur, but he's an artist. He's a creative artist. He's a writer, director, and he's done screenplays. And today, he's going to discuss with us the book called Half Empty, Half Full. So you want to give us some insight about how you got started on that book?
Half Empty, Half Full it started from a dream I had maybe 15, 16 years ago. And for those who have not read it, I really can't give you what the dream was about without ruining the book. But it was a dream I had 15, 16 years ago. But basically the book is about a couple with 2 children that's basically trying to make the right decisions, but make a lot of the wrong decisions that starts a downward spiral of events that happen. But then there's a twist in the book where they are actually put in a situation to make better decisions. I mean, that's really all I can say without. It's such a different book. It's really hard to give more details about the story without giving it away.
Okay, so this is a story that you started years ago?
Oh, I had a dream about it years ago, and it stuck with me throughout the years. And after I wrote my first book, I was trying to decide what I was going to write about next, and then I thought about the dream I had, and that's why I went ahead and wrote this one, because it stuck with me all these years, and it turned out pretty well. And
so the dream was one thing, but the dream wasn't 100 pages long, was it?
No. See, and that's the thing. No, actually, probably the last 30 pages of the book was the dream. I built the story around that dream, but really the dream is like maybe 20, 30 pages of the book, and towards the end. And I think when people read it, they know what I'm talking about, but I had to build a story around that dream, around that particular part of the book. So everything that happened previous, before those last pages of the book, everything that happened previous was a story that I put together to get to the end of the book.
So were the individuals who are in the book, were they characters that you completely made up, or were they based on people that you knew?
No, they were completely made up, except, Niven, who is one of the main characters, the name Niven came from a dream also. I had a dream about the name Niven. But everything around Niven, everything is made up. Stacy is made up as well. So, but the name Niven kind of stuck with me, so that's why the character's named Niven.
Do you know of anyone?
No, never heard of such a name until I treated him Niven, and never heard of such a name until I actually had a dream about the name.
So you have 2. Was it 2 girls in the book?
That's correct.
Okay. Were they made up?
No, well, they were made up for the fiction part of the book, but the 2 girls in the book, they have the same names as my daughters. So those names, Unique and Rachel in the book, are my daughter's name in real life.
Okay, so as long as I've known you, D-Rev, I've never said that you was one particular fate, but you've always been a very, you say, religious or spiritual person. But the book, when I read it, kind of felt spiritual and religious. Is that what you were trying to capture, or what?
Well, I wanted to capture the spiritual aspect of the human experience, not necessarily a religious one, and it really was natural to me. Again, as I was writing the story, things just kind of fell into place. When you're writing a story, sometimes the story starts writing itself. So definitely, I would not categorize this book as religious. I don't want to mislead people that way, but there's definitely some spiritual foundation to the book.
So, does that mean that de-revolution is finding religion?
Well, I think the misunderstanding of de-revolution is that I could never be de-rev, and I could have never achieved the things that I've achieved without the spiritual foundation. Because a lot of you guys didn't know me before de-revolution. But if you knew me as who I was when I was in Chicago, I'm a totally different guy. So the spiritual aspect has always been there. It's just that nobody actually sits down and talks to me to really try to understand where my heart, where my mind is at, where my spiritual self is. You know, people just go by what they may hear me say or things like that. You know, and again, you know, it works against me a lot because I think people just, I'm from Chicago. You know, so you know, Chicago raised me, you know, and you put me there, I fit right in with the people that's there. You put me here, I stick out like a sore thumb, you know. It's just, you know. But spirituality has always been a part of de-revolution, and that's why I've always been able to be so focused on the things that I needed to do, and being very successful with the things that I've done.
Okay, I'll put you on the spot then. You was in Chicago, right? You grew up in Chicago.
Yes.
Are there nuns in Chicago?
Yes, I went to Catholic school.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I went to Catholic school.
You went to Catholic school, so you saw some nuns, right? Not you saw, like, for person, but you was taught by some nuns at one time or another.
Mm-hmm.
Did that have an impact on your choosing a nun on the cover of your book?
Well, remember, the nun is from a dream. I went to Catholic school.
Why didn't you think about it? Why did you dream about a Kojic?
About
Kojic, Church of God in Christ. Why didn't you think about Pentecostal? Why didn't you think about?
I don't know why they dream about
Presbyterian.
I don't know. It was just, you know, I don't know why they dream about it. You know, I don't think we have control of our dreams, but. Sure. You know, this is what I dreamed about, and I went to Catholic school, and one, you know, I went to like 3 different Catholic schools, and in one of the schools there were nuns, and obviously, you know, we went to, you know, Catholic church, you know, at school, Ash Wednesdays, and you know, and just so many different things. So, you know, it could psychologically, and that's probably why I dream about it, because I actually experienced being around nuns. One of my teachers was a nun when I was growing up, so, and we have a nun principal, you know, so maybe somewhere deeply embedded in me, you know, that's why the nun is on the cover, because I've had my experiences with that, of course, many, many years ago, but there's, you know, but I do want to make it clear the nun aspect is spiritual, it's not religious, you know, and everybody will understand it when they read the book. You know, the book definitely does not push a religious agenda. And I think that's important for me to say, because I don't want to be a hypocrite, and I have different viewpoints about religion, so I just want to make sure that I'm careful what I say, basically.
Another question is, and this one we can probably take off. You can take this one out if you don't want to. Was the memory of the nuns a memory of feeling safe when you was around them, or were they very disciplined and you were respectful of their authority, or were you afraid of them?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna tell you like this. Sister Donatell was the principal, and I don't have any great memories of her. You know, when I was, you know, she was mean, and you know, she was just really, she was interesting. Her name was Sister Donatell, and you know, I mean, some of them were nice, but they didn't play. I mean, don't get it twisted now. They didn't play. You know, they were very strict, and they were very about handling their business. And you know, now that I'm older, I kind of understand why. You know, you're dealing with kids. You can't let kids run over you. But you know, they were not the nuns you would see in the movie and being, you know what I'm saying? They you know.
The flying nun.
Nah, you probably have to fight one of them in a hall or something. You know what I'm saying? You know, they was already always ready for a fight. You know. So yeah, you know, I mean, actually, Sister Donatil, you know, she pretty much stayed on me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I used to be scared when I went in late for school. Actually, me, my brother and sister, you know, she would talk crazy to us every time we came in late. You know what I'm saying? So
now I'm talking crazy to you?
Yeah, she would be like, oh, they late again. They late again. Because we would always be late together. Not just me, but me and my brother and sister. She's like, oh, they late again, you know. And, you know, she just made a reoccurring joke about it because we was always coming to school late. But, you know, it's funny now, but, you know, it wasn't funny then, you know, because she spoke loudly and she was just, you know, for a kid, she was mean. You know, I was probably like 6 or 7 at the time, maybe 8 or 9, 6, 7, between probably 6 and 9. She was, you know, for a kid, she was really mean at the time, and she was somebody that you know, that I feared to a degree.
Okay, so we're about to close out this interview. What lasting words would you like to leave us with concerning you and the book?
Well, I'm more interested in my long-term goal as a whole is blackbooksforus.com is to really bring other authors to that website. The website is set up strictly to sell books, not for PR, just strictly if you want a black story, you want to read a black book, go to that website and get your book, you know, because what I try to tell everyone, you know, when somebody wants to read black stories, they got to go to his website, her website, their website. This would be one website you can go and pick out a book that you want to read, you know, a black story, and that's it. You know, it's just got to be a page full of authors, you know, Black Authors Matters to type of page, and it's going to be for the long-term success of black authors, and that's eventually what I'm trying to get to, including myself, releasing books on that particular website. So go to that website, you know, to find a black story. You know, I haven't got a whole lot of authors in it yet, but it's just going to take time. But for now, my books are on the website, so, and my books are just as good as any. So, yeah.
So once again, the name of your book is
Half Empty, Half Full. blackbooksforus.com. You can get the book.
Okay, all right, let's do it again. So just go ahead and show us the book. So the name of the book again is what?
Half Empty, Half Full. blackbooksforus.com is where you get the book. Half Empty, Half Full. It's a great read.
So if you have a nun pointing at you in the middle of the street with you and your girlfriend, you know you got to do some changes in your life.
Yeah, that's a significant. It's one to catch your attention, but it definitely means something. Her pointing the gun, the nun pointing the gun at him. It's definitely significant. But again, everything on this cover is significant. Everything means I'm down to her black feet. You know, I forgot to say the black feet at first. Her black feet, everything. So again, it's a very.
And what is that? What kind of bird is that beside her feet?
Oh, that's a dove.
The dove has any?
Yeah, the dove have a huge significance as well. Everything on here, everything, the buildings, the purple, everything has a huge significance. So, you know, and it's all a part of storytelling to me. I think, you know, don't you hate when you watch a movie and the movie has nothing to do with the title? You know what I'm saying? So I try to make sure that my book cover really fit the story that's in the book. And so when you read the book, you look at the book cover and say, wow, okay, now I see, okay, you know, this book cover is actually described somewhere in the book. And so when you read it, it just all come together and make for a better story.
Okay. Well, once again, we thank D Revolution for coming on the show and giving us a very detailed, in a short kind of way, about his book without giving away anything. So go check out the book. It's really good.
And I would like to say also, John, I want to thank you for this interview. I appreciate you. For the many interviews we've had over the years, it's been fun. I definitely want to thank you for that. And it was something else I wanted to thank you for, but I can't remember what it is. Right?
Well, I'm sure it was for something very important. All right. Thank you again for being on the show.
All right, man.